Are we being punked? Seriously. I mean, is Ashton Kutcher sitting back there pulling the strings? Unbelievable. 7-4. San Francisco beating the Philadelphia Phillies. Ricky Bottalico, Michael Barkann. In a moment, Ben Davis, as we welcome you to Phillies Postgame Live, presented by our friends at Cure Auto Insurance. 5th straight loss. 4-12 in their last 16. 8 games under 500 for the first time in almost 5 seasons. 21-29 record and 11-15 at home, and they finished the month of May with a 10-18 record. Ricky Bo, you can't make this stuff up. I wish I was making it up.
Can't make any of it.
This was terrible. 5 hours!
5 hours to play. I mean, let's face it, it was only 2 extra innings. These games are taking way too long. I want to have like non-analytical night.
Go ahead.
So they just go out there and play a game with none of the buzzers and whistles. But when watching this game, it almost seems like you get sucked in by the Phillies. Here they are. They're ready to come back. It's going to be a beautiful thing. And then you go into extra innings. You got Familia not covering first base. That by the way, that to me is an issue. Why is that an issue? Because that's something you work on in spring training day, night, every single day in spring training. You come home. The way you know what's funny? I was talking to Larry Bowe about this today, and he looked at me and said, "What? Didn't we used to do this all the time? Every homestand, we would do the spring training drills. It would be get over to first base, make sure you're throwing to the right base, and I mean the way he reacted to going over to first base was like." Yeah. Oh, I can't run over there. It's a little, I'm a little dainty to get over there for that. No, you get over to first base and help yourself every once in a while. This team it's like in a shambles. You're waiting for something good to happen. When something good happens, something 10 times worse happens 5 minutes later.
It was terrible.
Go ahead. Now you could take over.
No, I'm going to take it to Ben, because Ben and Tom McCarthy were talking a couple of games ago about what the catcher says to the fielders in a situation like that.
Get over.
Ben Davis, right? The catcher says, "Get over!" And I don't know whether JT Realmuto did that or not. No matter, he did not get over quickly enough. And I know you and Tommy thought, well, the runner would have beaten the play anyway, but not if Familia is over there in time.
Correct, and that's something that, it just can't happen. I know it gets mundane, it gets repetitive, us barking at the pitcher to get over, but you know what? In situations like that, it helps. Yeah, you're not a spectator anymore. You have to get over there and cover the base.
Players make plays, and at key points, or they don't, at key points in games, the Familia play is important, and the fact that Joe Girardi does not walk Jock Peterson is also important, and all this is adding up. This is his longest losing streak, or matches his longest losing streak as manager of the Phillies, and you wonder, it's just going to pile up. They got one more with San Francisco. The Angels are coming in. That's not going to be easy, and normally you take care of your home turf, Ben, and they're 11-15 at home.
Yeah, and they're 12.5 games back now, the Mets. It's May 31st. We just had Memorial Day yesterday. It's hard to believe. But it's kind of like this trickle-down effect. We've been giving the bullpen some grief, and boy, did they step up tonight. But the thing is, you had to use so many guys early because Rangers only able to go 4 1/3. So this is kind of like the trickle-down effect to where they need to be. I mean, Rangers was out there 100 pitches he threw tonight in 4 1/3. There's something I can't put my finger on it. The fastball command is not there. They're not swinging at the changeups down and away. So I don't know if he's tipping pitches. I kept looking for stuff tonight. I didn't see anything in particular. But obviously they're not. He's just not had the same finish on his pitches.
Ben, I think both go hand in hand, because when he's on that inside part of the plate to the right-handed hitters and throwing strikes in there, that opens up, and as you know, as a hitter, it makes you kind of think inside, but then that pitch is on the outside part, you get weak swings.
Yeah, exactly. You got to speed up to get to that pitch inside. The hips go first, and then you just kind of flail at that ball away if it is away. But it's just not appetizing enough to these right-handed hitters right now.
Yeah. Ben, how disappointing. Team runners in scoring position tonight, 3 for 17.
Yeah, it's been something that we talked about in the open today about how when they were swinging the bats well in that West Coast road trip, everything was falling into place. Runners in scoring position was great. Situational hitting was outstanding. 2-out knocks were big. They're just not getting any of those right now. It's a different approach. You look at that one inning when they had 3 consecutive singles. They ended up getting 1 run out of that. So it's something that I don't understand it right now. It just seems like it's just very frustrating. I'm at a loss for words right now. It's very frustrating to sit here and watch this, and you're thinking they have to. Like we heard Kyle Gibson say before the game, like this is the best team he's ever been on. But he goes, we're not playing that way, and they're frustrated as could be, and it's starting to pile up on them. It just seems like the decisions that are being made, they're finding ways to come back and bite them later in ball games.
Yeah, and you say you're at a loss for words, and Ricky said join the club. I think fans are at a loss for words. They cannot believe that these losses are piling up to the degree that they are. 4-12 in their last 16 games. The division is likely gone, and certainly fading from view is also the final wild card spot. And yet we see this team with the Schwarbers, the Harpers, the Seguras, who they may have lost. He left the game after being hit in the knuckle with a pitch. Bone we thought might be coming and maturing this season. It just hasn't happened, unfortunately. And, I'm listening. It's Bark at the Park night tonight, and 350 fans brought their dogs. And in the middle of the 10th inning, and it's quiet because fans have left, and I just hear the howling and the barking of one lone dog. But I'll tell you what, he brought his A game, that dog.
It was John. John was there.
Yeah, maybe so. All right, Ben, we'll check you tomorrow, my friend. Thanks so much.
All right, fellas. Maybe tomorrow there won't be 365 combined pitches.
Or a 5-hour game.
5 hours.
I'll take a 3. If they have a 3-hour game tomorrow, we might think we're in heaven.
Well, let's not go that far. It depends on the score.
So we never said it during the broadcast, but when Jake McGee came in the game, I forget who was pitching in front of him. There was 4 minutes and 4 minutes and 29 seconds from one pitch to the next. I don't know what McGee was doing. It's like they were just out there just like looking at stuff. 4 minutes and 29 seconds between pitches being thrown. That's insane.
Yeah, and
I don't get it.
And forget when Odubel gets in the box because he's going to step out 3 or 4 times in an at-bat. So
it's everybody, Ricky.
Yeah, I know, but I just like to point out I like to throw people under a bus.
But you know what? Maybe they'll turn it around starting tomorrow, Ben.
You never know, Michael. You never know.
Okay.
All right, guys. Remember, you guys open tomorrow at 5:30.
We open tomorrow at 5:30.
Thank you, Ben.
That's if we can make it. We're going to see Dr. Jameson.
It's almost today.
See what
you guys.
You got to laugh, otherwise you cry. Ben Davis joining us from the ballpark. Ricky Bo.
Yeah.
Give me a reason these losses are going to stop. There is none.
Yeah, just
Aaron Nola's on the mound. That's not going to do it. Bryce Harper's playing tomorrow. Not going to do it.
It's not
Schwarber, no.
about that.
Segura, we don't know what's happening with them.
How about a good old-fashioned butt whooping? How about whip somebody once in a while? Yeah. I mean, I got to tell you, I'm looking at this lineup for the Giants, and you got to say to yourself, these guys are pitchable. You could pitch to these guys. Yeah, you have to be careful with certain guys. You knew Jock Peterson was going to have a good at-bat. He came in that extra inning. He had a great at-bat there against Familia. And then all of a sudden you just drop one into his wheelhouse, and he tees off like he's hitting a 9-iron up into the upper deck. I'm frustrated with a lot that's going on right now. And I'm a little bit against Ben in the sense that I didn't think the bullpen pitched great. I think Sir Anthony did well. I think, Nelson pitched okay. Brogdon did fine. But, I mean, there were mishaps after mishaps. And it's not just because of the pitching, but the defense. Come on, were we not waiting for something to go wrong defensively that we were going to go, oh, there they are.
Yeah.
And it happened.
Just looks bad. All right, what can the manager say? What's a manager to do? Here's Joe Girardi postgame.
He'll have I guess a CAT scan tomorrow, but the x-rays revealed a fracture, like on the side of his finger.
This is right.
Yeah, I believe so. Oh boy, hand. Yeah, and it's right here. Yeah, it's index finger. Yeah. Somebody's gonna have to step up. I don't know.
Was there a plan with him going into tonight? I know he had a good night with Gregorius.
Yeah, he was going to DH tomorrow, and then we were going to evaluate Thursday.
finished May. I know it's just a day on the calendar. Symbolically, are you glad it's over?
Yeah, June has to be better. I mean, these last, I don't know, you could say 2 weeks have been really frustrating for our club. And we've had a lot of tough losses. Last two, the way we lost extra innings, I believe, or whatever, it's been really tough. We've had opportunities to win. We just haven't been able to do it.
Familiar late on that ball?
Yeah, he didn't get over in time. I mean, that's baseball 101. He's probably done it 1,000 times.
He makes that play, does what he's supposed to do there. He gets there in time.
They may not score.
Those things are just adding up.
Yeah, they do. They add up. In close games, when you don't make the plays you're supposed to make defensively, it usually costs you. And it's cost us a lot recently.
Microcosm of the season so far, the way this game played out tonight.
Yeah, I think that's fair to say.
What made you want to bend the rules in the attempt to get Familia in there? I know he pitched 2 days before.
Yeah, he'd only thrown, I think, 15 pitches in the last 2 days, right? He went, I think, 0.1 on Sunday and an inning yesterday, I believe. So he said he felt good, and he didn't have an up down. His work was pretty easy.
Does the urgency of just the situation with the team factor into that as well? I mean, you guys got to start winning some games.
Well, I mean, there's urgency every day, but I'm not going to abuse people. I refuse to do that. So, he came to the coach and said he was good. He didn't throw much on Sunday. One batter, I believe it was, and that's why we chose to use him.
So, Jean is out. Do you see Camargo playing over there most?
I'm not sure what we'll do. We'll have to sit down and I'm sure discuss it tonight.
Even if you can hide it with some kind of a covering when you bat, the ball comes off the tip of your finger, that's got to kill you.
That hurts. I don't care what you say, that hurts. I mean, anytime you get an injury, it's going to hurt your team, it's going to hurt your teammates, and now all of a sudden, I guess the only good thing you could take out of this is Didi Gregorius is basically on his way back. So
2 for 2 runs batted in, and a run scored tonight in his minor league stint before he comes back to the team. Supposed to be in there tomorrow. You heard Joe Girardi.
How bad
say.
are things? How bad are things?
They're beyond bad.
We made fun of the Cincinnati Reds not too long ago, right?
Yeah.
Phillies are 3 games ahead of the Reds.
How about this? They're not even the best team in Pennsylvania anymore. The Pirates are 20-27, for goodness sakes.
Things are not
I
looking
can't believe
upward.
what's happened. But Joe Girardi said some things during his availability a few moments ago, such as Jeurys Familia came to them, said he could go 3 days in a row. We heard Corey Knebel say, I was ready to go, and he did not. He said, I'm not going to abuse players, Joe Girardi, in general, not specifically about Corey Knebel. Same with Zach Eflin, pushed his start back 1 day.
Right.
And it's backfired each time. Look at
I
the
will
bullpen
give him
tonight.
this much. He's running out of options is what happens.
Maybe because he's not pushing guys a little bit like he should.
And to me, that's very hard to do. When you got to use 5 relievers every night, you have issues anyways. So I think the real problem kind of stems from Ranger Suarez. When you really think about it, what was your problem tonight? Well, it was Ranger Suarez didn't get deep into a ball game. We're going into June. We are in June. And to me, that's the biggest issue, is that your starting pitchers have got to be 5+, if not 6+. And Ranger Suarez just isn't there right now. And maybe there's some thought about that too. I mean, it wouldn't be a terrible thing to move Ranger back to the bullpen at all.
Yeah.
It wouldn't hurt the team.
I don't know. The only funny thing about Ranger is that even though he has the highest ERA coming in of any of the starters, the team had the best record of any of the starters when he pitched.
But that doesn't always have to do with the starter. You know that as well as I do. I mean, things have to go right in the ball game.